Hey everybody. Today I want to introduce to you a philosophy around healing back pain rather than any kind of exercise. And the reason for that is because time and time again I hear a story like the following. I was offloading my shopping from the trolley into the car and I picked up the bag of oranges and all of a sudden, bam, my back blew out and I was in agony and I couldn't walk for days. Okay, so this sort of story is very common. Somebody was doing something that's quite normal in their daily lives, and all of a sudden their back just really went bam, pow, ow, this sort of thing. So for the person that's experienced that, it very much feels like it was out of the blue because they were fine beforehand and then all of a sudden they weren't. So it feels sudden. But what I'm here to just remind you is that that's very unlikely. Okay, it would have had a build-up for some years of a vulnerability there, and then that load suddenly on that day, maybe you were more tired, maybe you hadn't slept well. Okay, so something went just a little off for a big thing to happen. So I'm just going to very briefly cover the stress response because that's part of how that vulnerability builds up over time. Okay, so we have fight, flight, or freeze. Okay, I focus on the freeze. Okay, and it especially happens in Zimbabwe where we can't fight the threat and we can't easily run away from it either. Okay, it's not like a tiger or something you can probably run would be the best in that situation rather than fight it, but you get my point. Okay, so we have freeze. Now, the freeze response in the body is very unconscious. Okay, it's a deep part of the sort of primal brain and the nervous system that is there to act very quickly. And the whole point is that it's faster than your conscious thought. Okay, so what's happening in the body then is that the muscles, okay, that would take you towards the fetal position get a lot of tension and activation in them. Okay, so you don't actually move into the fetal position, although sometimes we can do a little bit of a fetal position, which is a kind of a rounded back and stooping forward. Okay, but it's rather that the muscles that create the movement that would take you into the fetal position, they are on alert, they have tension, they fire. So even if you're not moving into the fetal position, those muscles are carrying a lot of tension and contraction in them. So they don't have to shorten very much to hold a lot of tension. Okay, but what happens in those muscles, okay, when they're in this holding pattern, is that they pull together often the joints that they're attached to. Okay, so particularly the lower back and the legs. Okay, that section of your body, a lot of those muscles, when they tighten like that, they create less space between the vertebra and the joints. Okay, so now bones are kind of getting closer together. There's impingement syndromes. Okay, there's sometimes nerves being compressed. Okay, also then the alignment and the position of that curve in the spine can also go out. And that can cause problems. Okay, and then the muscles, they don't switch on as well. They're carrying a lot of tension, but they actually don't activate in a way which actually supports your spine. So this happens over time. Okay, so we have this tension happening in the body. Okay, now, what do we do to deal with this? Okay, and this is why a lot of the time I actually just help my clients learn how to relax. Okay, and we have to have some mental assistance and support, okay, so that we can deal with stress or anxiety better. And there is also an emotional component, okay, if there's trauma. Okay, so also very often I sit down with people, they tell me the story of their back pain, which was all of a sudden, bam, okay, and then as I sit down with them and ask them more questions, they've had a very good friend die, their partner's very ill, their child is ill, it goes on and on like this. They're going through divorce maybe. Okay, so these are emotional states of your life that will be creating a pattern in the body as well. Okay, now of course, if you sit all day and you're not really using your muscles very much, this is going to compound the stress or anxiety or emotional response that's happening in the body. So, when it comes to this philosophy of healing, rather than thinking just about an exercise, like a physical exercise that can help you, I would like you to think about if you're willing to look at the emotional side of your body, okay, the emotional responses in your body. Okay, so for a philosophy of healing, we need to be holistic. We need to look at the emotional components. Okay, and you might even notice yourself, if you think of something horrible that happened, even if it's a physical accident. Okay, a couple of years ago I chopped the top of my finger off with one of those slicing machines, and when I think about it, I mean, you can see my face right now, and I get this shudder down inside of me when I think about it. So, why would we do that? Why is my body responding? Okay, so you will have ways of conjuring up emotional experiences. And if you notice and become a little bit mindful and you tune into your body and notice what's happening, you will feel a sensation somewhere. And it might be very vague at first, feeling like it's almost distant. Okay, but the more you do that, the more you start to realize, okay, just what your body's doing. Okay, so if you're having this repetition, okay, and this stored emotional stuff in your muscles and in your body, I'm not sure that just doing a physical exercise is going to be the thing that helps you. So I'm putting it to you that if you've had back pain for a long time, or neck pain, okay, we can also have this tension and stress in the shoulders. That's quite a common one that we know about. Okay, how often do you actually just drop your shoulders, okay, and breathe well? Okay, so we can have meditation in here. We can have exercises that look at, when I say exercises now, I'm meaning the more spiritual, emotional kind, to start releasing what's in the body. So it sounds a bit odd if I would have just started this video with, okay, well, it's really good if you just write down your negative emotions to heal your back pain. You might have been like, what? Okay. But hopefully you at least understand a little bit about this connection of our emotions with our muscles and what they do. Okay, let alone hormonal, in terms of the actual stress hormones circulating around your body. So yes, things like meditation, being able to deal with your negative emotions and having ways of helping your body process those and make them just come out of the body a little bit more. We can notice, without doing an exercise per se, we can begin to notice what the sensations are in our body when we feel certain emotions. Okay, so that's what I'm asking you to think about for yourself. Maybe you can, throughout the day today, if you catch yourself looping about something upsetting or that bothers you, just see what's happening. Like, is your brow furrowing? Are your shoulders up? Are you gripping your jaw? There are lots of things. And when we just become mindful and go, let me just turn inwards for a moment, not even like deeply inwards, just shallowly, like, I can just drop the shoulders. Okay, and we can start to release the tension that's been stored up in those muscles for a long, long time. Okay, because only when those muscles relax off can we educate them to support your body better. Okay, can we learn how to move without the body in a protective pattern? Okay, so can we move without pain? Even just very gentle movements. Can we rehabituate the body to be relaxed? And if we're going to do that, we have to work on this freaking thing up here. We have to bring consciousness, mindfulness, relaxation, compassion, okay, a little bit of shadow work. It's like getting the kind of dark side of yourself out. That's what I'm putting to you. Have a think about it. If it resonates with you, then please feel free to follow my channel or follow my webpage, my Facebook page. I have that all on there. And I'm doing a 21-day challenge at the moment. It doesn't even matter if you join late. But we cover all these things, all the things that you can do for healing that have nothing to do with an actual exercise, an actual physical exercise. Okay, thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. And I hope that you have a moment today where you can catch yourself and begin to change the pattern of your body and your muscles. Thank you. Bye.